Learners, in week 2, video 7, we are discussing about Crosby and quality treatment. Presented by Dr. N. Venkateshwarlu, Associate Professor, Mechanical Engineering, SOET, IGNOU, New Delhi. Crosby and quality treatment. So Crosby is also one of the guru of quality. Juran and Deming and Crosby, these three have got the status of guru of quality gurus. So Philip B. Crosby was first to popularize quality for top management. He claimed that all quality improvement pay for themselves. That is, the quality is free. Crosby's most important contribution has been the development of a 14-point program of quality improvement and zero defect concept. Philip B. Crosby, another quality guru and consultant in quality management in the United States, is noteworthy here for his role in the field of TQM in the initial phases through his zero defect programs. In his approach, he says quality is free, but it is not a gift. What costs the organization are the poor quality or not doing the right at first time. Objectives. Learners, after listening this video lecture, you should be able to describe Crosby's zero defect concept, explain Crosby's 14-point program of quality improvement, describe Crosby's 4 absolutes of quality. These are the various objectives you can able to understand after listening to this lecture. Crosby's zero defect concept. Defect-free product. So one has to produce without any defect. That is the meaning. The concept has value as a long-range objectives since it implies the need for never-ending improvements. The concept rejects the idea that we can relax our efforts short of perfection. In contrast, if defect-free product is viewed as a short-range objectives, it becomes counterproductive by shutting off efforts to reach attainable goals. So what he says that suppose we have achieved a quality level up to 95, so that is enough. One feels, some manager sometimes he feels that we can achieve 90%, then there is no need to attain 100%. So that is not the system in the quality. The Crosby says that we must attain 100% perfection in achieving the quality of the products. So that is the defect-free product production. Zero defect as a slogan. In this meaning, the term is adopted as a kind of banner which motivates the companies to improve quality. In its best usage, this is comparable to adopting an appealing brand name to help sell a product. If the drive is well conceived, that is, a good product will be produced. Then a good brand name is assured. If the drive is ill conceived, then it failed no matter how clever is the slogan. So that is the meaning of zero defect as a slogan. Zero defect program. Sometimes in the industries, it is the zero defect program is to give the awareness to all the employees. So in this week, one has to produce without any defect-free products should be produced. So like that, the zero defect programs can be conducted. The concept of zero defect was originated by Philip B. Crosby, the then quality manager for the Martin Company, Florida, during 1961 and 62 to face many perplexing problems in the industry. The concept was first applied to a missile production program for the US government. The zero defect concept is a formula for management program which seeks voluntarily participation of workforce in undertaking personal responsibility for the quality of the task at hand. It is an approach to the problem of securing a high level of error-free work performance. So with this zero defect program, the management encourages the employees to voluntarily participate in problem solving and quality improvement processes. So that is the concept of a zero defect program. Crosby provides the following 4 absolutes regarding quality. Quality means conformance, not elegance. The system of quality is prevention. The measure of quality is the price of non-conformance. The only performance standard is zero defect. Quality means conformance. The quality is the conformance of a product or a service to requirements. The definition of quality can never make any sense unless it is based on exactly what the customer wants. The consequence is the management has to following 3 tasks to perform: establish the requirements to be met and communicate them to all employees of the organization, provide appropriate tools and techniques and the necessary training in them, provide continuous support and management. So these are the 3 points one has to remember. Then system of quality is prevention. Before carrying out the operation, it is beneficial to identify all opportunities for error. At least a contingency plan can be drawn upon so that if the problem really occurs, the damage is controlled and restricted to minimum possible. Inspection is inevitable, but a company that relies on mass inspection of the final output cannot achieve progress. So one has to identify the problems which are going to occur by experience or by doing research on that, so that the errors cannot happen while working. So that is the system of quality is prevention. Produce the product and inspection is not the good idea, but prevent the problems going to occur by studying the processes, by researching on the processes, by experience. One can identify the problems and remove those errors so that one can enhance the quality. The measurement of quality is the price of non-conformance. The price of non-conformance indicates the cost involved with doing wrong things, rejections, reworking, warranty costs, etc. The sum cost of such actions amounts to 20 to 40% of the total operating cost. This is the reason why Crosby stressed that the quality is more of a management function rather than a technical of operations. When management realizes the damage done, it is prompted to apply professional quality function, prevention efforts and quality education to bring down the loss. The cost of efforts is called cost of conformance. Thus, a company whose products and services are rated as of high quality is paying a very low price of non-conformance. The concept of zero defect is based on the fact that any deviation from target causes a loss. Hence, it is always cheaper to do the job right first time, on time, and every time. Only that management which continuously strive to produce a product free of any errors meets the performance standards. So one has to achieve the performance standards. Then Crosby's 14 points for quality improvement. According to Crosby, quality is a never-ending process. Crosby laid down the following 14 points to assist in the establishment of quality ethics. It is similar to the Deming's 14 points. So here little bit some points are different, but here are similar with the Deming's 14 points. One is management commitment, quality improvement teams, measurement, the cost of quality, quality awareness, corrective actions, zero defects planning, employee education, the zero defects day, goal setting, error cost removal, recognition, quality council, do it all over again. These are the 14 points of Crosby's 14 points for quality improvement. First one, the management commitment. The quality should be the first agenda of all management meetings. Senior management must demonstrate their commitment to quality by making clear how it is going to deliver defect-free products and services on time. So here the management commitment plays very high role in enhancing the quality of products, or by implementing or by committed way of implementing the quality procedures or technology, the updated technology in the production processes. The management commitment is a process. Management has to concentrate on all the processes, including employee training, including technology upgradation, including education and training the management also. So all these are the committed sources, commitment by the management. The top management has to commit, so that then only the quality of products can be enhanced, the continuous quality can be improved. So that is the management commitment role. Then quality improvement teams. A quality improvement team will consist of people who will assist in the changing of the system to enable quality to flourish. Its main task will be to change the attitude and practices of people who run the company, set up required educational activities, and coordinate the efforts of team members and upper management. Measurement. A clear method of measurement for every part of an activity should be decided. Once decision is taken, a level of reference is created. Reasonable targets can be set. Process can be monitored and comparisons can be made. The cost of quality. The management needs to monitor the cost of quality and then treat it as a positive item in the management process. If the costs are high, it indicates the returns made by current quality practices are not favorable. The process accounting for the maximum consumption of resources needs to be given prior treatment and modifications. Quality awareness. People should be continuously reminded about the management commitment to quality. Training facilities. Crosby advocates the use of slogans or posters also as a reminder to the workforce of importance of quality. So these quality awareness programs, the employees should be make aware about the importance of the quality. So that is the importance of the quality awareness. Corrective actions. Any corrective actions must be executed only after analysis of past data or determination of the causes, so that the problem is treated permanently. The organization must be wary of understanding any corrective actions which takes the form of reworking or replacement activity, because it does not carry any value. So corrective actions means, so before starting that product, one has to think the problem is going to come, or one has to observe by experience any problem is going to occur, or by analyzing the data one can observe there may be a problem may occur in the future. So that should be rectified before the starting the production. That is this point suggests that corrective actions. Then zero defect planning. Proper planning is required for the concept of zero defect. to be embedded in the company culture. It will have to start with a zero defect commitment from the top management. Crosby suggests the awareness training including the celebrations of zero defect day. So in the manufacturing companies, the quality day, quality week or zero defect day, zero defect week, like that it will be done by giving slogans or developing posters at the company's entrances or at the workplaces so that the employees can understand. So in this week one has to produce the product without any defect. So that is the impact of zero defect planning or zero defect day. So in this way the employees have to be aware, or the commitment should be made by the management so that all people can be communicated about the zero defect day. So this is the importance of the zero defect planning. 8th point, employee education. The subject addressed during education process are concerned with companies' activities and ways of achieving quality. A classroom environment where both workers and management participate results in greater understanding and break down barriers leading to collaborative work. The Crosby states 6 elements in the entire education process, which is also referred to as 6 C's, which are comprehension, understanding what is necessary; commitment, dedication to cultural change; competence, scientific skills or technology skills; communication, effective enhancement or effective communication is more important. Then corrections, elimination or prevention practices; continuance, never ending efforts for improvement. So these are all 6 C's of Crosby's employee education. Zero defect day. Crosby recommends the celebrations of zero defects day to reward serious efforts. This acts will be a reminder of importance of quality and as a demonstration of commitment towards zero defect principle. The goal setting. When it comes to quality, the ultimate goal is that the zero defects, and all intermediate goals should be move in that direction. Error cause removal. The permanent removal of cause of error require a team effort. The identification of error is possible when a proper communication exists between the number of teams. The communication ensures sharing of knowledge and experience. Each team member can contribute by submitting a defect cause removal proposal. Here in this process, all the team members can give chance to give the suggestions or give their knowledge by sharing with each other so that the cause can be removed. Suppose in a particular one machine always giving the rejection level more, so that how to reduce that rejection level for particular that machine, that can be identified and cause can be removed. So that is the error cause removal process. Then recognition. Crosby considers recognition as a reference point to help the improvement efforts in right direction. The recognition process needs to be planned carefully and developed gradually. When an employee is recognized with a quality reward for his efforts, it must set an example to others and not rivalry. So suppose it takes place in between the missions or in between the people. If anybody is getting a recognition, one should feel that how he is getting. If he becomes a rivalry to that person or that department, so that should not happen. So that is the recognition, means one fellow is working continuously and improving quality so that he can be awarded. So that is the recognition. He should be giving an award and he is recognized. Quality council. The people who defines the mission, vision and values and policies necessary for managing the improvement process can be brought together in one group under the name of Quality Council. A council serves a common platform where they exchange their knowledge and coordinated expertise can be effective in providing support to quality improvement teams in their efforts towards elimination of hazards and achievement of zero defects. This is the objective of Quality Council. Do it all over. This is the 14th point of Crosby's quality improvement. TQM can happen if the effort is continuous. The process of learning, participating and experimenting with new methods should never end process. The process can gain speed and get embedded in the work culture when done again and again. So these are all the 14 points of quality improvement. The steps in implementing zero defect program. The zero defect concept seeks the voluntary participation of all workers in understanding personal responsibilities for the quality of task they perform. Zero defect program can be implemented in the following steps: personal challenges, identification of error concept, inspection, motivation. Personal challenges. The employees are challenged to adopt work culture and error-free performance. They are requested to voluntarily sign pledge cards, a promise that they will strive to achieve the highest standard of quality and performance. Identification of error concept. The problem which are abstract zero defect aim are identified, defect sources traced out and their causes rectified. The employees are encouraged to be alert and report potential sources of defects. Inspection. The employees or worker is trained about specific quality points. He is expected to monitor and encouraged to report any out of control conditions promptly. The use of zero defect breakdown sheet is tough to him for error-free work performance. The sheet has two columns, one showing the logical sequence of operations, the other is critical factor, which determine whether the job is being carried out without defect. Motivation. The management should try to make the workers realize that quality is important to the company's future and employees' future. Therefore, quality is important for every person working in the company. The following two methods are used for creating psychological climate favorable for quality mindset, that is, attract attention and general interest. Then the another concept, the Poka-yoke. The concept of Poka-yoke was pioneered by Shingo of Japan to produce zero defect products. It is basically a mistake proofing system, originally called foolproofing and later changed to mistake proofing. Poka-yoke translates into English as to avoid inadvertent errors. A Poka-yoke employed in a production system works by detecting the errors and stopping the production. Only after finding out the cause of error and eliminating error, the production system is resumed. So the Poka-yoke says that do not run continuously without identifying any problems are occurring or any deviations are taking place in the process. So that is the Poka-yoke's concept. So first identify if any problem comes in between the production time, so one has to stop that machine and identify the cause for that problem and find the solution and then correct the problem and then implement and then run the production. So that is the Poka-yoke's concept. The use of Poka-yoke in a production system is extremely valuable because it prevents the occurrence of the same error repeatedly. Poka-yoke uses a bunch of small devices to either detect or prevent defects. The device can be developed by anyone from manager to the line employee. A Poka-yoke device is any mechanism that either prevents a mistake from being made or makes the mistakes obvious at a glance. The effects of employing Poka-yoke are observed in increased productivity and decreases of error rate. So conclusions. Learners, I hope you understand about Crosby's zero defect concept, Crosby's 4 absolutes of quality, Crosby's 14 points for quality improvement, steps in implementing zero defect program, and Poka-yoke mechanism for producing zero defect products. Thank you.